In this video, we're going to have a look at a laser engraver. It's kind of geared toward a beginner such as myself. I am brand new, never used one of these before. So we're going to look at it, see how it goes together, see if it's doable or usable from a beginner standpoint, and how difficult is it to get set up. So let's get into the box and see what it comes with. Operation guide and a user manual. Looks like there will be some assembly required. When you're unpackaging it, there's a couple little extra pieces of foam laying on top of other components. So make sure you kind of dig through here and make sure that you get all the pieces out of the packaging. All the parts that came out of that box, this was just laying loose in the box. So hopefully I'll find out a place where that goes. Instruction books, a little packet here. It's got some tools and some extra pieces in there. It's a set of laser safety glasses, the power block, and then this is the laser itself, I believe. It gives you an inventory sheet of the list of parts, and it looks to me as though everything listed on this sheet is included in the package. The next page, it starts into the assembly process, real straightforward. And it looks like the first step is putting the frame together. So we've got these 5 components laid out. Each piece has a hole in it where it screws into a threaded portion of the other piece. And then there's 2 threaded holes over here that will secure the laser once you slide it down in the bracket there. And that thumb screw, you can use that to tighten and adjust the height of the laser. So we'll just put it about there for now. And then I guess the last thing is this cable routing. One goes down here into the motor, and one goes up here, and that'll clip into place. So that'll handle that piece, and then let's do the other end. Each one has shrink tube or whatever on there. I'm just going to put that into the little clip. That seems like a good place for it. This one's going to go into this motor, and the other one's going to come up here to the laser. It kind of clips in place. About like that, I guess. That probably needs to be loose so this can function without getting hung up on anything. It says over time with use it will degrade in its performance. They give you a little wrench, tells you to go underneath and adjust the nuts down there just to make sure that it performs as it should. They also give you a spare belt and then a USB cable. I suppose that's for connecting to your computer. Alright, I'm all set up here. I didn't want to get a subscription to the Lightburn, so I found this CutLab X, which is free software for lasers that'll work on a Mac computer. And I've never used this software before, but I think I finally got myself set up here. I can't really give you a lot of tips on that. I just kind of went through trial and error trying to teach myself how to use it. And I've got this word here, subscribe, in the center of my screen, and I'm set up. You click here to preview, and then it'll preview the location. Make sure you're going to be on the material you're trying to cut on. Or in this case, not cut, I'm just engraving. I've got it set for 500 on the speed and 100%. This is a 12-watt laser, so it may not have the power to cut through much, except for maybe a real thin sheet of paper or something like that. I've just got a spare block of 2x4 here for material, and then doubled up tin foil below it just in case I overshoot. Hopefully it won't burn through that. To set the laser height, you gotta loosen this thumb screw. You're going to set this depth gauge, set that right on top of your material so it rests on the depth gauge, and then tighten the thumb screw and then remove the gauge. So just twist the gauge back up out of the way, and that'll set, it's 1 or 2 millimeters. It's not very much. It's just barely hovering above the surface of what you're trying to engrave. And let's do the preview one more time because I moved that a little bit, just to make sure we're actually on the material. Let's try that. That should do it. I'm going to put my safety glasses on, and then we'll start it. It just seems to move really precise, and it's actually pretty smooth, not very loud at all. I'm not getting hardly any smoke off of this. You do need to do this in a well-ventilated area because depending on what your laser engraving is, you can create quite a bit of smoke. It's basically just burning the surface of whatever it is you're engraving. And it does not have an extractor, but the cooling fan for the laser does kind of blow down over the material. And then it goes to its neutral position. And that came out actually pretty darn nice, I think. Now I did fill on that one. Let me show you on the computer. So if we go up to the top square here, we have fill. Let's try one of the exact same thing. We'll use line instead. We'll come down here, do a preview. Let's try that one and see what it does. So you can see how it's open in the middle. It didn't completely fill it in like it did on the previous one. So that's the difference between fill and line, and there's just tons of things that you can do. But let's try just a sheet of paper, and we'll do it with this line format, see if we can get it to just cut out the letters. Maybe I'll make the picture just a little bit bigger, and we'll see if it'll cut it out or if it'll catch it on fire. If it detects fire, it catches something on fire, it'll shut down. I hope we don't do that, but we'll find out. I think I can just drag that a little bit to increase the size, and then we'll do another preview. Yeah, that's quite a bit bigger. Let me get my glasses on and we'll run that one. Okay, here we go. Trying to cut the paper. Look at that. Huh, I'll be darned. There's a couple little pieces left on the wood, and it cut through that pretty well and even lasered the wood. Isn't that cool? Let's come down and hit preview. All right, I think I can get that on a piece of wood. Let me set up a different piece of wood and we'll try it. All right, safety glasses on. We'll hit start. Learn as you go, and with some experience and some practice, you can make some really neat projects. That burnt that one in there pretty nice. Very crisp, clean, detailed lines, and I can even read it, Tom and Jerry. That's a look at the WizMaker wand. This is the 12-watt version. They've got, I think, a 7-watt and a mini. I'll link this machine in the description, along with the coupon code if they give one to me to share with you guys. And I hope you enjoyed it. Looks like it's a lot of fun. It'd be a great hobby if you're interested in this type of thing. And if you'll click that video on the screen now, you can see another one of my product review videos, and we'll meet you over there.